Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. I just thought I'd do a little update on what I've been up to this week. It's a project that's been a long time coming. I've been meaning to it for a couple of years now, and I finally got around to starting it. I've been forced into starting it really because I need all the topsoil I can get for the bottom of the garden, and I'll have to get rid of this area at some point anyway. So to save having to just get rid of it or fill up the beds, I'm using this to fill the bottom of the garden. So as you can see, it's only a rough outline, and all I've done so far is take the top grass off. It's about 3 meters by 2 and a little bit at the narrowest point here near the Tiki Man, and then over by the corner of the summer house it's around 3 meters again over there. So it tapers in. The blue outline's roughly where it's going to go, and these are the paving I'm going to use. The 600 by 600 square porcelain tile. So basically, as you come down from this part of the garden, as you can see down here, that's my irrigation pipe which ran along the edge of the old cobbles, and it floods at this bit, so I'm going to have to put, just because the garden's on a slope and it met the grass was a bit of a barrier, so it just always used to puddle here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put an echo in here just to allow the water to drain in, and then it'll just come out somewhere into the bed over here, just to get rid of the water from puddling here, because it often looks a messy and muddy. So that'll solve the issue of flooding onto the patio. And yeah, I'm actually looking forward to starting this now. Now I've actually dug a bit out and I can visualise what it's going to be. You know, it's going to be a bit of work, and I'm juggling between this and out the back. But like I said, I just need the soil. So I dig this out, get it down to depth, use all the soil out the back, you know, kill two birds with one stone as it were, and then I can get to putting all my hardcore down. And I think that might be all I get to this year. I might just try and get it to that stage. You never know, once it's done I might just want to lay it. But yeah, still a bit of work to dig all this out, get all the hardcore in, compact it down. But it was nice to actually have a proper seating area. You know, the idea always was, when the summer house went in, was to have a little seating area out here, just enough to get a small table, a couple of chairs on, you know, sit by the pond. Never had that, and we always tend to sit just up this section and look down into the pond. Always seems to be my preferred spot to view the fish here. That's mainly because I've never had any shade here actually, so when I come home from work this is always in full sun. It's around 7 PM now, so not so much sun now, it's out the front of the house. And if you were to sit down at this level, that bench, the oak bench, is just in the way there. So, and I don't use that bench too much, it's just a little, for now it's just been a deterrent to make sure the heron don't come find its way in. So once the patio's laid and the bench is moved, I'm going to have to find another way of protecting the fish from the heron. I have not had a visit in a long time, but you know, I don't want to just presume it's not going to come back, so I'll show it from this angle. So I think from this angle it actually looks a bit bigger in this way. It's a nice space, or it will be when it's done. So it's going to be the porcelain tiles, and I think I might edge the border in the same cobbles as the path, just to tie it all together. And I'm going to leave a little edge against the pond here, so that I'll dig all the rest of the grass out that you can see. I'd like a little bit of a border just for some low level planting around the edge of the pond, just to, so it's not just straight from the pond to the hard landscape. And I think that's what I want to do anyway. You know, plans can change, but for now that's my idea. And the intake bay section here might have to be reduced because it's quite tight here. Like, it's quite narrow on this section, and I'm just gonna have to do something about this sharp corner, because if you're bringing a lot of foot traffic around here, you don't want to clip your ankle on that. See, it wasn't really a problem before. There was no real reason to come around here, but you know, we've got the new garden bed in, which is filling out quite nicely now. Gunner's looking nice, and for now I've planted this Tetrapanax just in its pot. It's just sunk in its pot, just because that's going to be going out the back of there next year. It just saves the pot drying out too much too quickly by sinking it in the ground. Yeah, I've definitely really needed to do this patio for a while. Just had no proper seating area in the garden. I do all this work in the garden, and then I realised, you know, that I've quite recently, maybe not recently, but I realised that I've just not got anywhere to sit. Like, all the best gardens I've visited, I love going on the National Garden Scheme gardens, and all the best gardens have places to sit, and I've just got no destinations. Yeah, you can come inside the summer house, even though it's still a bit of a mess at the minute, but you can't, I don't have really many places to sit, and I think that's, when I come to doing the bottom, I think that's something I'm definitely going to look to incorporate more of. Nice little seated areas, just little hideaways where you can just pop a little bench in and just view the garden from different angles. Like, this is an area I would have never got to view the garden like last year. I never came down here. I only came down from a compost bin. So, you know, and that's the thing. I realised if I were to sit here, which is near the gunnery, it's not very good light, but you get a nice view across the pond. See if we can zoom in and see. Just see the fish just swimming around. So I think, yeah, just seeing the garden from different angles gives you a completely different perspective. So while we're here, I'll just show you some progress that's happened around back. It's not been a great deal. I've lined the building, really thick tanking material against the wall. That's still to be trimmed back, but because I don't quite know the finished height, it's a bit above that, but I've not trimmed anything back. It can all be trimmed back. But yeah, if I come down, be careful, because there seems to be some wasps down here all the time. So I've dug most of it out, as you can see down. I've just got to do the last section up against the fence. So there's a bit of there's tile holding, like slate tile holding all that ground back, but then just over this section had panes of glass. I think you can probably still see. Quite lethal, really. Panes of glass holding back the soil, so you've got to be very careful down here when you're digging. It'll just be a case of knock all that edging out, turn that soil all over, because as you can see, things are just starting to grow back. Not ideal, but I keep plugging away. But at a minute, it's quite hot down here on an evening. This gets all the sun when I'm home from work, and reflecting off this building, you can see just how bright it still is. This is, I don't know what time it is now, 7:15 maybe. Yeah, you can just feel the wall radiating heat. I think I've mentioned it on videos before, that this wall, somewhere in the middle of the building, is where I'm going to put my Butiagris aerospatha, because it radiates so much heat that I'm hoping that is just going to help it, you know, give it a bit of protection from the wind and then the cold. So, because I know quite a few people that's got one, they've lost them, or at least took a hell of a lot of damage. So let's see if I can do any better than you guys. So yeah, this is the progress we're making. It's slow, but we're getting there. Have a look from this way as the pigeon messes about. Yeah, there's still a hell of a lot of work to backfill all this, but it's looking good. I'm happy with the progress. Sometimes I feel like I'm not getting anywhere, but then when I look back, I am. Just, yeah, it's not easy. Full-time job. Do this when my little one goes to bed, so I only really have evenings, sometimes a bit of time at the weekend, but you tend to be busy as you do with your family. So it's just as and when I can get round here. Ongoing project, which is another reason I've not taken the fence down. You can just kind of forget about it. If this don't get done for another year, it don't get done for another year. Obviously I'd like it faster, but can't always get what you want, can you? Take a look how the bamboo's coming on, shooting up nicely now, looking really nice. I think there's 20 something culms coming up now. There's the tetrapanax on about that, it's still in its pot. And this gunnery starting to size up now for its first year in the ground. It's really, really good. This, just be careful not to stand on the begonia torso. This Schefflera, oh, it done half get some aphid damage. I've managed to keep on top of it with every other Scheffler in the garden, but that one, no, it takes damage all the time. I can't keep on top of it, it's full of aphids all the time. So I think that's it, guys. It was just really a quick update on what's happening down here, and mainly for myself so I can record when I've started it, and yeah, just look back on how it was, how it's going. It'll be nice to see this done. Can't wait to actually have it in a nice little seating area that family and friends can come visit, sit down, chill out. Maybe, just maybe, might have some sort of roof structure over it, but yeah, I'm not 100% on that. But it just means you could sit out in the evening, or if the weather's a bit bad, under some sort of cover. But then at the same time, does that take away my planting opportunities? Decisions there. Right guys, thank you for watching. See you in the next one. Not sure how well this shows up on camera, but just after I finished filming that video, I spent half an hour having just had a little test dig, see how we were going to dig, and I'm really surprised at how easy this was. After remembering how much effort it was to dig this pond and the amount of crap that came out of it, yeah, I was really impressed how easy this was. As a touch wood that it all goes like this and I've not just jinxed it and I'm going to hit absolutely everything in here. But yeah, very impressed at how well that's done. So yeah, that was just a quick update after, because yeah, next time you see this garden, hopefully I'll have dug out most of, if not all of this area, either down to that depth or all the way down to the depth to start backfilling. Thanks again for watching. This time I am going. See you on the next video. Ta-da.